Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Sorry for the delay, you guys. There was some last minute images of Harry from, of all places, Chicago. It appears as though Harry was at an event on the 6th of November, I believe they said the date was, at the Union League Club in Chicago. Go figure. Anyway, I was just adding those and I was searching in vain, hoping that I could find some additional photos, but there doesn't seem to be any. But let me take one more look and then I'll share what I have with you. But it's for the Pat Tillman Award. Um, yeah, that was the reason for the gathering. Is for the Pat Tillman Award. I believe it's for a scholarship or something like that. But let me see here. Giving back over 1 million raised in support of Pat Tillman. Oh, let me try this link. That's the actual link. Well, that changes everything because now I can get some, I'm using photos that I got from third party and they're not the clearest. So I kind of like this. At least I know where the link is now. Okay, it's not bad, but I tell you what, I still want to go better than what I have. Okay, so there's that. Let me slide this one over. Yeah, and then this way I could actually see the captions that go with the photos. Yeah, that's better. Let me see here. Almost 400 guests. All right, so that's okay. I think I'm good with the photos that I have. And let me see what the date is for this. Hold on a second. And then I'll share what I have. Okay, this is from I guess it's an online magazine. If you want to see it yourself, it's called Glancer, Glancer, Glancer magazine. That's where I got the images from. So if you want to see them yourself, you can. But okay, well, you know what? That explains why some people are chosen for awards, because not only do you bring a lot of attention for the event that particular night, but now it seems as though Harry is going to be in the family of recipients. So in the future, they could definitely use his star power to raise funds and bring out, more higher stature people that would not mind rubbing elbows with a real life prince. So let me go ahead and stop talking and get the image up here so I can share it with you guys. All right, so remember wait a minute. Wait. Am I still restricted by the way I can share? Let me see if, nope, they haven't fixed the slide issue yet. So I'm still a bit restricted. That's okay. Now we know how to make it work, right? So that's all as important, is that we can make it work. So give me 1 second. Presenters view. All right. And let me line it up the way I like to do. And voila. Screen share. That's it. There we go. Oh, I don't like this, but we got to make it work. So again, I do apologize for that extra delay. but I was trying to work on this last minute part of things. And by the way, Hazel, I did get an email from you. I didn't get a chance to take a good look at it. It's been a while since I've checked that email. So, with everything that's been going on, please be patient with me, and I promise you, I will take a good look at it as soon as possible. But this has been a quite a period for me. I don't need to tell you guys that. And definitely, I'm certainly not complaining, but it's just, oh, sorry. Let me get comfortable. All right. Ah, that is much better. Nope, not there yet. Hold on. Okay. Is that it? So. Anyway, anyways, as I was saying, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I did. It's fine. Yulibi, thank you for being here. Let's see who was here first. I'm always curious. Lydia Washington. Thank you, Lydia. Okay. And Cherry Traveler. CK. Helen. Mary H. Thank you for being here. Gwendolyn Daniels, Maurice Brown, and a host of friends and others. You know, guys, I am doing remarkably well in the wake of what happened the other day. I wonder how you all are doing. I thought that it was going to be more of what I experienced in the past, where I would take to my bed for a couple of days. But the only thing I can think of is I just was not as emotionally connected to the vice president. And maybe that was the problem for a lot of people, is that we just did not have the time to get to know her. I knew enough about her and enough about her opponent that I knew who I was voting for. If it was a stick figure, I would vote for that person. I'd take my chances. But um, from what I can see on social media, there's a lot of people that are not doing so well. There's a lot of anger and the stages of grief and such. And we can only pray for the best. And do remember, this is temporary. It is temporary. Nothing, and I do mean nothing. You pray, of course, that in your lifetime you can see better times, but sometimes that's not the case. I mean, just to be honest about it, that is not the case. I would be lying if I say, oh, it's going to get better sooner rather than later. We don't know. We don't know. But as you are listening to me, and as I am here talking to you, obviously, for what it's worth, we have our health, that is. And though some of us have been struggling with our health, where there's life, there's hope. There's a constant. Where there is life, there is hope. So as long as you are drawing a breath, there is hope. And that is what's really core to the human spirit, is the idea of hope. Um, so not necessarily words of comfort to some people right now, but it's all I got is hope. And especially for those of you that live in the United States, the economy has been doing great for a while. Prices are still incredibly high, but I compared based on a graph that I found, and I compared what we pay for certain essentials compared to the rest of the world, and still it is a bargain in some cases, for certain things like what we pay for fuel. we can scream as much as we like, but there are still places where people pay a whole lot more than what we do, and they make a lot less money. And as for having a car, they'll be like, "What car?" So yeah, it's you really have to compare your situation to the rest of the world to know how blessed we are in spite of everything that happened the other day. And yeah, I'm just looking to the future with optimism. Um, and that's all I got for it. So, ooh, CK, you're ready to dig into it, aren't you? You are ready to dig into it. I don't blame you. That is something that I don't suppose there will be any proper investigational journalist that is going to take this issue to task, because it is one of those things where you can't really ask the hard questions, right? But it comes out anyway. As they say, if it doesn't come out in the wash, then it will probably come out in the rinse. And yeah, it will probably come out in the rinse. So there, but we'll get into that. Ah, the wise words of Marshall. What have you for us? Fear not, we are Americans, and adversity is not new to the United States. We fight against tyranny and oppression still. When we fight, we win. Be encouraged, my fellow Americans. Marshall, is that your platform? Are you running for public office? That is stunning. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Yes, hoodwinked, right? Bamboozled, hoodwinked. The old bait and switch. Yeah. Well, hmm. I'm trying to find a proper way to couch this where it doesn't um ruffle any feathers, but you guys, after Obama was elected, there was a lot of pride, obviously, for all the right reasons, I would say. But for people who were afraid of Obama, afraid of a black president, it did not sound the same. It did not feel the same, right? And one of the reasons why they was so afraid of Barack Obama was because of the lies um, and ignorance. It was just ignorance, and people. The majority of the people did not believe the worst of Barack Obama. But this time, the majority of people did believe the absolute worst about the Vice President Harris, as opposed to someone who is very familiar. They've been there before. And while it was a very stressful period while he was in office, it's not the same shock because, well, it's happened before. And now that he is unleashed and still unhinged, it's hard to know what to expect next, right? But my point is everybody is going to wake up the day after election and either feel incredibly invigorated, surges of joy and laughter and such, or you're going to be very disappointed or afraid and or both, or and that's just the way it goes. Some people are going to wake up the morning after and feel great, and others are going to wake up feeling very disappointed. And because of all of the hyperbolic language that has been used through the campaign season, that fear is very real because you have been spoon fed day after day the worst possible things that could happen. In this case, we already know that the president elect is capable of the worst, but there's nothing we can do about it. It's nothing we can do about it. And so until January, live your life, enjoy this calm before the storm. Um, and then let's take it day after day from that point on. But think of it like living in California before there's an earthquake or a brush fire or something that turns paradise into something else. Or think about Florida. Everybody says, oh, Florida is always this and that until the hurricane season. And then they're boarding up the shops and everything. But in between time, they're pumping gasoline, wearing bikinis. And that's the way it is that calm before the storm. So let's enjoy this period. I hope that for those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, that it will be rather peaceful and tranquil, being around family and such. But there's a lot of people that may never speak to family again, and that's a real shame. But we just can't give in to our worst fears, although it, from all accounts, considering who we're dealing with, if he says that this or that is going to happen, then chances are that's exactly what's going to happen. But you have your health, and for the time being, we still have a different president. And so I'm just going to wait until inauguration day, and then I'll, you know, worry about those things. But in the meantime, there's nothing that can be done about it. So I intend to ignore it as much as possible. As much as possible. Yeah, that is the irony, isn't it, Cherry Traveler? I heard someone mention that today is that what has been done to certain places because of their um, drilling rights or mining rights or whatever the case may be, they have leased land to people who have decimated areas of the countryside forever, areas that will be forever changed. And the people that are speaking of sustainability and the environment, they're pocketing money and looking the other way. They're certainly not marching down to those work sites and saying, hey, we leased you this land. We didn't know you would destroy the terrain. Duh, that's what happens when people have the right to mine or drill. Uh, yeah, I know, Maurice Brown. I know. I understand. I do understand that. We, a lot of us, we were here on Royal Sussex watching it together, and it was sickening to see these things. But um, please do some soul searching if you haven't already. Do some soul searching and try to um, see something different about where we are right now, if you can. Um, Whatever that is for you as the individual. But I've had a lot of like stuff going on with my family lately to think about. So that has been a bit of a distraction from the other stuff. And to protect my mental health, as I said, I am going to just ignore as much of it as possible. Whereas during other presidencies, I was actively, day after day, looking and and watching and reading about these different things that's going on with this president and that first lady and such. And of course, there was the 4 years of that guy that I just tuned it all out. And I'm going to be forced to tune it out again. And it's a real shame because otherwise, I love the history of the presidency and the White House and Washington and the whole, experience of the U.S. government. And during these periods, I just tune it out because I cannot stand to see that smug, ugly face day after day and the sound of that voice. And then when you add the lies to it, the lies and the just blatant ignorance, and then you see how many people will believe the worst type of person and wouldn't give um, a an honest person a break. Wouldn't give a an experienced person a break. We had the opportunity to make history the other day, and it is unfortunately eluded us again. And I think we're going to make history, and probably for the worst possible reasons based on what the predictions are, right? Based on what the predictions are, it is going to be awkward. And we just have to take care of our friends and family and such and each other and try to avoid the the worst of these things. Be vigilant, but don't get so drawn into it. Okay, 23 minutes and we're still on the first slide. So let me do this. Marcy Foreman, hi Baron. Bullium comms team are stupid. Hold vanity project Earth flop on USA election. Pay for celebs to attend. No actual winners weren't invited. Oh, the winners were not invited again. Again, they did. Oh God, how did they do that? Why did they do that? And then you know what's going to happen is that he's going to invite them to a tea or a luncheon at a later date. That is very strange. Thank you so much, Marcy Foreman, and thank you for 19 months of membership. Okay, so I'm going to take that away. I am going to dare to make this bigger. I hope the microphone does not get wonky again today. So far, we've only had that do that one time lately, but let's see what happens. Okay. So there's Harry at the Union League Club in Chicago. Yes, the Union League Club. Now, what is a Union League Club? It is one of those private clubs like a guild or one of those big city clubs. And so many of the wealthy cities across the country, they have those clubs just like they have in the UK and other countries. There's quite a few of those here in the United States. There aren't as many as there used to be, but they still have them. And it is like a private hotel. It's a members only situation. They have, gatherings like this. So let me find the thing I was referencing earlier, and I can tell you what it says. Okay. And unfortunately, I don't have this on the slide because I've only just found it, but it says giving back over 1 million raised in Chicago to support the Tillman Scholar Program. The Pat Tillman Foundation's annual Tillman Honors Gala was held in the Union League Club of Chicago November 6th, raising 1 million for the program. So, what was that, 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago. The Pat Tillman annual Tillman Honors Gala was held in let me see, Chicago fundraisers annual. Oh, this just repeats. Oh, there we go. There's something different. It says held at the Union League Club of Chicago on November 6, 2024, honored 2 decades of empowering nearly 1,000 Tillman scholars who exemplify the values Pat stood for: service, scholarship, humble leadership, and impact. All right. So, and there's our Harry. Let's see, to honor 20 years of Pat Tillman Foundation, those who have helped carry Pat's legacy forward. And it says here, Champion Award, the NFL, Champion Award, Arizona Cardinal, Leaderships Through Action Award. Let me see, TEK Systems or Tech Systems. Okay. I'm just reading the caption at the bottom of the photos that they have here. That's what they have at the bottom of that photo. Okay, but okay, here's one that's a little beefier. It says almost 400 guests attended, including Marie Tillman Shanton, who I believe Harry is speaking to there, chair and co-founder of the Pat Tillman Foundation, Arizona Cardinals owner, President Michael Bidwill, NFL legends Charles Peanut Tillman, okay, and Jake Plummer and Arnaz Williams, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, and 40 Tillman scholars. Together, they paid tribute to Pat Tillman's legacy and helped fundraise for a community to active duty service member, veterans, and military spouses. Okay. So aside from that, that's it. They don't have any other information for the photos they shared. But again, this was in the Chicago Glancer magazine, a magazine which I have never heard of before today. Interesting. Glancer. Well, yeah, there you go. So hopefully in the coming days, there will be some more photos coming out. But isn't it interesting, you guys? Isn't it interesting that Harry was able to travel to Chicago and participate at this event, and nobody was the wiser? See there? Prince Harry attends annual Tillman Honors Gala in Chicago and participated in NFL group discussion with retired U.S. Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Israel Del Toro, NFL legend Jake Plummer, and over 40 Tillman scholars, and nobody was the wiser. This is the first that anybody's heard of it. So I do I have that video available? Let me see here. Do I have a video available? It is like a very, very short video. I'm not even sure I'm supposed to show it to you, but let me do that anyway. Of course, that has never stopped me. So let me find it and share it. Okay, yep, I got it. Yeah, it's only 8 seconds long, so here goes. Wait, do I have it? Yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. Blink and you'll miss it. One more time. All right. Okay, so there you go. Blink and you'll miss it. Harry and 400 guests honoring the Pat Tillman Award scholarship. So there you go. Take a look at a couple of your comments. Oh, Billy boy, your beard looks scrappy from end to end, all across your face. You're a slumlord, and people hate you. Oh, Billy boy. Oh, Billy boy. All right, let's continue then. I am going to have to copyright that song, Oh Billy Boy. So take a look here. Yes, you know what's coming. I do have a soundbite from the Minister of Hacks. I do. I have a soundbite from the Minister of Hacks. And it has to do with Kate's situation. Are you guys ready for it? Here goes.
Weekend's insight. Let me know what you think. Well, everyone's confused, and I'm going to join that confusion because genuinely I'm confused too. And in a kind way, I'm also questioning why the press are now referring to Kate's cancer as Kate's pre-cancerous cells. And I've got to say, and I've always said it on this channel, what you have to remember as a normal human being in this big world is that the digital media and the press always know more than we do. And very often they know the truth, but for various reasons of alliances, strategy, and the law, they cannot always reveal what they want to, i.e. the full truth. So this is ultimately confusing whether you're a fan of the royal family or not, and I'm certainly the latter. Did Kate have cancer, or was it just pre-cancerous cells? If it's pre-cancerous cells, as all these news outlets are now reporting, I think we've done a massive injustice to the real survivors and fighters of cancer all over the world, because Kate's video extensively talked about being cancer-free, trying to get to cancer-free, the fight against cancer. I'm fighting cancer, me, 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 me. It was all about Kate versus the cancer, not about anybody else. If it's pre-cancerous cells, that is completely different. And I feel if that's the truth, which it looks as though it is, we've all been pretty much hoodwinked, guys, to be honest. But there you go. It's not the first time, and it certainly won't be the last time we've been hoodwinked by the British working, taxpayer-funded royal family.
The British working, taxpayer-funded royal family. Hoodwinked, bamboozled, the old bait and switch. Look at the shiny object over here. So I got another one that I'm going to play for you in a second. I cannot tell you how many people have told me that I don't believe she ever had cancer. Okay? Also, we do know that at the time when the announcement came out, there was conflicting information. Even the hospital stay, the announcement of a 14-day hospital stay. Now, I did hear one doctor say that the 14 days sound like there was some type of a hold, a hold. Okay, a holding pattern, right? Now, I'm not a doctor and I don't want to give out any misinformation, but this one doctor alluded to, you know how when a plane cannot land because it's not safe to do so? So they put the aircraft in a holding pattern until it can dump fuel or something like that. Well, sometimes legally in the medical community, for various reasons, they have people who will stay at an institution of some sort, including hospitals, as I say very codedly, that they will have to stay um, not necessarily that they want to be there, but they have to be there so that they're not a danger to themselves or others type of stay. That's what this doctor said, is that when I heard 14 days, 10 to 14 days, she said that's what it sounded like. And of course, she said, as I am a doctor and I have not had a chance to examine said patient, I cannot really comment responsibly, but that was just speculation. So, um, and there's been a lot of people that have been very disturbed by the language that's been used because it didn't seem real or authentic. And of course, the various versions of Kate that we have seen since January the, what was it, 14th, they announced the surgery. The various Kates that we have seen, the Kate leaving the farm center, farmer's market, that's the one that really alarmed me because they're saying that Kate is unable to function normally. And yet we see this very strident, healthy, glowing young woman emerging from the farmer's market and moving at such a fast pace for someone who is going through such a toxic, well, potentially toxic. I mean, I do believe that chemotherapy is considered very toxic to the body, but someone going through a very toxic time like that, toxic treatment, was moving so fast, seemingly in perfect health, smiling. And then, of course, there were the reports that Kate was here, Kate was there, Kate was seen doing this, Kate did that. But Kate won't make a public appearance until her doctors say that it's okay. And then, of course, there's William with the unnecessary identification of the two Filipino nurses, which, of course, is his words, not mine. But he said that the nurses, there were two of them that were Filipino. Not that that was important to share with us, but he decided that's what he wanted to do, um, so that she was in good hands. And then there was all of the talk about where she would recover, where she would. You guys, I'm not just saying these things. When I tell you that I saved tons of those articles explaining their way through it. And then if you say to yourself, well, why would I accept those articles as the truth if they're coming from a tabloid? Because they brief the tabloids almost on a daily basis with a running dialogue about what they do, why they do, when they do. And of course, they also use the tabloids to try to position themselves in the public psyche whenever they want to test a possible change in operations. They will also leak that to the tabloid media and wait to see if there's any public outcry. So we've heard so many versions of things surrounding Kate and her illness. Now, let me do the next video, which you see on the right side. Now, as you can see, glow who we all love and adore for her incredible insight as well as those amazing videos that she's made. Um, she shared this that I'll play for you. You can see on the right side. Let me grab that for you. Okay.
Chemotherapy after the discovery of precancerous cells in March. The Prince was speaking ahead of tonight's Earthshot Prize Award in Cape Town. Prince William has given an update on the Princess of Wales's health. Kate revealed in September she had completed chemotherapy after the discovery of precancerous cells in March. The Prince was speaking ahead of tonight's Earthshot Prize Award in Cape Town.
One more time.
Prince William has given an update on the Princess of Wales's health. Kate revealed in September she had completed chemotherapy after the discovery of precancerous cells in March. The Prince was speaking ahead of tonight's Earthshot Prize Award in Cape Town. Prince William has...
Okay. Precancerous cells. Precancerous cells. She was treated with chemo for and how did she say it? Preventative chemotherapy or preventive. Anyway, didn't the doctor say that there's no such thing as pre-cancer or pre-cancer treatment? It's all been so strange, the secrecy. And of course, we're not allowed to know what kind of cancer it is. She had abdominal surgery, which was not an emergency. However, they had to cancel their intentions to go to Italy because what was not an emergency seemed as though it was an emergency. There was the very strange motorcade involving the police that made an emergency trip to the hospital at 8:30 at night, was it, or something like that, on the 28th of December. And then, of course, when we heard about her surgery, that very same day, which I don't care what anybody says, on that very same day, they announced that Charles is having prostate surgery and that they would be both find themselves at the same hospital at the same time. And in both cases, it is not an emergency and it is not cancerous, only for it to become cancer by February the 5th for Charles and March the 22nd for Kate, after people around the world was asking, where is Kate Middleton? And the royal family became the laughing stock pretty much of the world. The world was laughing at Kate, and that could not be tolerated. So there is a hole in this story so big that you could drive the Queen's golden carriage through it. Queen Elizabeth, of course. You could drive the golden state carriage through it. That's how big this hole is. It never made sense. And I just don't believe that they would make an announcement about Charles on the same day. If it was not an emergency, then why did you bring it up? He didn't have to have surgery that day. He didn't have to have surgery that week. They could have put it off, especially if they wanted to treat him like any other NHS patient, put it off for months. But in both instances, we're not allowed to know what kind of cancer. And in Kate's case, they want us to believe that Russia, Iran, and was it China, that they're all trying to get a hold of Kate's medical records so that they could destabilize. I can never say that with a straight face. They want to get a hold of her medical records so that they can destabilize Western civilization, or at least the British government. They want to get a hold of her medical records with the idea of destabilizing the free world. There's something in her medical records that is so sensitive that we'd all be in trouble if they were to find her medical records and make them public. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. So there you have it. I repeat this often, as you guys know, because it is so far fetched and it is so puzzlingly unreal that you have to say it out loud just to believe that it was said in the first place. But that is the story that they have given us, and they seem to have maintained whatever story of the day. And yeah, Kate is that girl. She's that important to Western civilization that if anybody had gotten hold of her medical records, we'd all be in trouble. So let's move on. But again, she had pre-cancer treatment. Now, the bottom of what Glow has there. Oh, let me see. Okay, let me read this to you. Glow says Kate Middleton apparently didn't have cancer, allegedly. She had precancer cells, possibly, as reported by Sky News here. Thanks to someone else she referenced here for capturing this. If this is true, then this is exactly why her statements about her condition were always so vague. It would also mean that she took 6 months off and did a flamboyant video production with her children and her thick flowing hair to give the impression she was recovering from full-blown cancer when it was only cancerous cells which had long been removed. I would not be surprised. This is the monarchy. No true transparency, no accountability from tabloid media who probably know these royals easily play the public to get what they want in the end. Remember, just before she was exposed as racist toward Prince Archie and his likely skin color, but ended up getting a standing ovation at Wimbledon for probably having precancerous cells removed instead of what we thought. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Actually, I am quoting a someone that no, that is from Glow. I believe Glow said thanks for capture. Yeah, that is from Glow. You're absolutely right. But Glow is giving thanks to someone, I believe, for snatching that video before it disappears. There you go. But yeah, Glow has an incredible insight, and I'm always amazed at some of the interesting information that we're given from Glow. So yeah, there you go. Now let us continue. This old hag, she says. Anyway, let me just play it. I would say that appears to be an allergic reaction, but no, actually, that's her face. That is Angela Latrine. I know what appears to be the reaction of 1,000 bee stings could actually be someone's face is rather surprising, but that is her face. Now, I am going to well, I'm going to share that too. Here we go.
Has given an update
Uh-oh, that's not it. That is not it. Here we go.
Together, but it's a magazine where a lot of A1 celebrities read it, and they said that they think it's absolutely at the end. And we're waiting to see. I mean, neither of them are together for a very long time. You don't see them with their children at all, and that they are going to break up. But I think for Harry, who was actually shouting at his father, I won't allow you to talk like that to Meghan. I won't let you have that attitude to Meghan, and being really unkind, because Charles is not actually a very rude person, particularly not to his sons who he loves. And we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's for Harry to say, I've made a big mistake, is a very hard thing to do.
Well, maybe he doesn't think he has. Maybe the rumour, there's no substance to the rumour at all.
Yes, but apparently this magazine in Montecito takes great care that it gets things right. But we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think anyone will be surprised, actually.
Yeah, nobody. I mean, to be honest, nobody really wants to see the end of someone's marriage. To be honest,
Well,
it's a shame they spend so much time whinging there.
If they've got there, people say there's no children there, but I mean, it's also very difficult. The small children, they don't understand it, and it can be difficult. And if it's a breakup that is unpleasant.
So, did you hear that last part? Of course, there's some people who say that there's no children there. Those are the people that in all likelihood, but I don't know this to be true, but I'm just going to allege, those are the people that Angela Latrine is in constant contact with on social media, possibly allegedly using a burner account, which is what a lot of the tabloid media does. They, in my opinion, I'm going to allege that they will float certain things. You know how I said the palace floats certain ideas to the media? I believe that they likewise float certain ideas to the derangers and such, and see what kind of talking points they can create from it, or if they can find something that they hadn't thought of themselves that sounds reasonably true, even though we know in all likelihood it's a big lie. The point of this is, one of the squaddies shared this little clip of Angela Latrine speaking with such authority about Harry and Meghan not being together, only for Harry and Meghan to make this surprise appearance where they look just as placid and loving and peaceful as they have always looked. Meghan looks refreshed, stress-free. Harry looks refreshed and stress-free. I don't see any difference in their body language or behavior. But let Angela Levin tell it, they're having issues. So very interesting that she would say these things. And I don't know when this recording was made. I'm guessing it was this week, since she's wearing the poppy. But there's likely, I'm just going to say there's no truth to it. I'm just going to say that there is no truth to it. And this is her spinning and weaving some big tale to have something to say on television. Angela Levin is not a guest on these shows because she just needs to get these things off her chest. Like everybody else, she gets paid. And I think a lot of people confuse the idea that someone is on the payroll with someone just trying to be helpful. Most of the people on these panels are paid. If they're not out promoting a book or something like that, and even then, when it comes to the British tabloid media, very different from the US media, the British tabloid media is more likely to pay someone, whereas in the US, that is less likely. There's not really much of a budget for someone to give their side of the story. There's not much of a budget for that. That's not the way it works over here. And it's so interesting, too, that so many British journalists who are proper journalists, they love the fact that they come to the US and they don't have to use money to coerce some type of story out of someone. But those are people that are serious, not Angela Levin. She's not serious. Um, I don't know if she's working on her, what do you call it? Generational wealth for her family, or what her story is. But she's not there to help anyone. She's not there to rescue the monarchy. She's there to make money. That's it, and that's all. She has no other function at this point. So, and it's a shame that that is what it is, but there's no other way to say it. They are there because they're paid, and they come across to the viewers who in some cases either don't think about it or don't know any better. And then sometimes they might be trying to get themselves a little boyfriend or something. So they show up with their bright red lipstick and puckering their lips. God only knows who they're trying to attract. You know what I mean? That is supposed to be like some mating ritual, I suppose. But whatever she's doing, I think is absolutely disgusting for someone her age to carry on like that. See there? She's puckering up for someone. She is trying to lure someone into her honey trap. See there? I think it's disgusting. And then that ridiculous bird nest that she's wearing on her head. I mean, if you really are serious about trying to attract some young beau or something like that, why not just I don't try one of the, um there's some places you can vacation where they don't care how old you are or what you look like. You know what I'm saying? There's places where she can go where they won't worry if she looks like she's been stung by 1,000 bees, or like she's allergic to mangoes or something. That's what I'm trying to say. So if she has an allergy or if she just looks raggedy, there are places where she can go and find herself a little boyfriend. Yeah. Somebody will be after that pension check. You know what I'm saying? There's somebody who would gladly have at that pension check. That's what paper bags are for. That is what paper bags are for. You just bag it and have it. Don't tell me to find a boyfriend. You don't tell me when to find it. And you just want to defend that actress, and you just want to have a go at me. I know what you don't invite me to come on the show if you anyway, that's enough of puckers, of pucker latrine, puckering up for God knows what. Now, this is the anniversary of the 2016 statement. Kensington Palace has issued a statement this morning about the harassment currently being experienced by Meghan Markle and her family. So Harry wrote this, or yeah, wrote or approved this letter. I'm going to just say, with the passion that's involved, Harry wrote this letter. But either way, it is a public statement about Meghan and her mother being harassed, and to a lesser extent, her father and maybe even somebody else. But that's what it's about. Now, I do believe that this letter was removed from the public website, although it does seem to still be available on the Kensington Palace Twitter account. But essentially, Harry is saying, I know there's a lot of curiosity and such, but she has a right to privacy. This is not a game. Leave her alone. Well, there was one or two ways that this was going to go. They were either going to respect Harry's wishes and the privacy of Meghan and her family, or they would see that as a line drawn in the sand, a dare, a chip on their shoulder, waiting to be knocked off. And of course, we all know what happened. The press only became increasingly more volatile and nasty and mean and cruel. And of course, we know that it was with the approval of members of the royal family, one in particular who wants to get everybody together to talk about homelessness. But it happened, and it's really sad that that this wasn't the end of it. It was probably the beginning of it. Remember, that was November 2016. A year later, that was when they announced their engagement, and by that spring, they were married. So you see, the Sussexes, even though they were saying to Harry, "Oh, you should wait and you should give it 10 years," like I had Kate waiting around looking like a fool for 10 years. You should have Meghan wait around for 10 years. Never mind the idea of starting a family that late in life, but just wait. I waited. You should wait too. And also shave your beard. You better shave that beard. I'll have someone hold you down if you don't shave your beard. Um, but November 8th, 2016, that's a whole year. That was a year of getting to know each other, or maybe even longer than a year before they announced. I remember when they announced because it was like right after Thanksgiving. That was when I had purchased a ticket, not knowing that there was going to be an engagement, let alone a wedding. But I had a ticket to go to Europe, and I thought, okay, great. I'll just go and watch the royal wedding, watch the procession like I've always wanted to do. And of course, from that point, I have been very invested in Harry and Meghan's story, to the point of defending them whenever I possibly could. But yeah, just I think of everything that has transpired, everything that has been said and done since this letter was shared. Now, to be honest with you, I didn't know about the letter because I didn't hear about Meghan until the announcement of an engagement. And I probably still would not have paid so much attention to it had it not been an American of African descent. You know what I'm saying? That is what piqued my interest. That is what uh, drew me, an American who was, kind of blasé about the royal family. I was always interested in the various stories and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know a whole lot about the family. And so, of course, Meghan pulled a lot of people into their story. And in return, they have tried to destroy her because she actually helped make that institution relevant toward the end of Queen Elizabeth's life. Yeah, they have a certain way of thanking people that helps to uh, shine a light on that institution. Yolanda is at McKinn's. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Friday and or Saturday morning to you. Probably Saturday morning, I bet. Okay. And there is 950 people here. Please make sure you hit the like button. Please, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. New subscribers have slowed down to just about maybe 2 or 3 a week. Can you believe that? The new subscribers have slowed down dramatically. And I always see stuff, in my email saying, "Oh, we can help you this and help you that." But I'm not interested in some third party get involved with things because again, just like Angela Latrine, uh, she's not just there to pucker her lips and save the monarchy. She's being paid. And so if you invite someone into your um, account, then they're not there to help you as much as they're there to help themselves. So I'm not interested in that right now. Okay, thank you so much for that. Now let's move on. Oh, there we go. Prince Andrew finds funds to stay at Royal Lodge. The Duke of York has convinced palace authorities that he has sufficient cash from legitimate sources. Couldn't say that with a straight face. Sufficient cash from legitimate sources to pay for his own upkeep. Now, if he wasn't so full of himself, I would say he could go out and find some work somewhere. The Duke of York has raised the funds to be allowed to stay in Royal Lodge, it says. Where could the money have come from? Well, we know that Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, we know that she has been making a lot of money lately. I believe she has paid all of her debt. Her toes are completely clean and probably a little sticky from saliva, but her feet are clean and her bank accounts are full. So she could, help him out with a couple of pounds here or there. Who knows? But the important thing is that her feet are clean. So if you know, you know. Next, Peter Hunt says, if only royal reporters had been given a chance to chat to Prince William and ask him about the contributions taxpayers make to his annual 20 million plus pound private income, right? I mean, the reporters that followed him down to South Africa, you guys, if the Royal Rota, if they were serious reporters, as Rebecca, Where's My Ozempic Shot English would have you believe, then why don't they ask us the tough questions? The White House press pool, they don't pull any punches. They will ask you anything from the size of your underwear to the type of china you use in the White House. They do not pull any punches. If you are available, they will ask you. And any head of state from anywhere in the world, I don't care who you are, if you are having a visit to the White House press corps is going to ask you tough questions. Like that day they asked Kate Middleton tough questions. But that never happens with the royal family, ever. They're not allowed to yell out questions. And of course, that is kind of rude to do that. But if they did not do it, which they don't, it's rare that that happens, then you never hear anything because they're not going to share anything. They just want you there to cover them and to make them look good. That's it. You serve no other purpose as a journalist. So they're not really there in the capacity of a journalist. They are an extension of the press office. They really serve as an extension from the press office. I don't care who signs their paychecks. They are not true, honest journalists. They are an extension of the propaganda, the press office. Matter of fact, let me show you an example of it right here. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Let me see. Well, let's do this anyway. I'll just play the beginning of it.
But the question for Kate came from a White House reporter, and it was about family.
Your Royal Highness, do you have any wishes for your new niece, Lilibet? Oh, I wish her all the very best. I can't wait to meet her because we haven't yet met her yet. So hopefully that will be soon.
Oh, oh, oh. That was just as phony as could be.
Your Royal Highness, do you have any wishes for your new niece, Lilibet?
Oh, I wish her all the
Oh,
very best. I can't wait to meet her.
I can't wait to meet. I can't wait to meet her. Oh, oh, I wish her the very best. I just can't wait to meet her. Oh, starting to sound a lot like Camilla. Was that a laugh or a whinny? Because only horse is whinny. But yeah, that is something that caught her off guard. That would have never happened with the press corps there in the UK. Something as innocuous as asking about the birth of a child. Have you met the child? And that innocent question would have been considered rather rude because even though they are earning money from the taxpayers, you're not allowed to say or do certain things around them. Deference. Remember? Deference. That's all they want from you. Oh. So, anyway, if only royal reporters had given the chance, had been given the chance to chat with William. And of course, that's not going to happen. So, those images that you see as part of this tweet, of course, is because of the Channel 4 dispatches. I guess you could say it was a documentary. Dispatches investigation, such and such, spoke on the media show to discuss the journalism behind the king, the prince, and their secret millions. The film has been the highest watched dispatches this year and received 13 million views across our socials. 13 million views. Well, let me tell you something. If there's any lesson that we have learned from the election this week, and that is that a lot of people are just comfortable being a small cog in a much larger machine. And I'm going to include that with the people who voted for that monster. Um, that man, I don't care who you are, that man that has somehow managed to hijack our government again would never see any of those people that voted for him as an equal, ever. And I believe that that is the way the king and the Prince of Wales, they would never see the average person as an equal. Everything that they've ever experienced has informed them that they are ordained and that there is a higher calling, and the fact that they go to bed quite comfortably every day knowing that the bills are paid, that there's a loyal staff around them, no matter how ridiculous they are, no matter how ignorant or illiterate they are, it doesn't matter because it's inevitable. There's nothing that they earned is inevitable. But the one blood royal that has gone out and made a life for himself, admittedly, with the head start of being a royal in the first place, has actually served humanity in a way where he is making a comfortable living for himself and his family. He has also gained so much respect from the military community, from the mental health community, and so many other people. So many charities and foundations look to Prince Harry as someone who speaks their language, who can bring attention to their causes, and will be, and this is very important, who will be very informed about their goals and the mission of those charities. Harry is very informed. He's not just reading from a script. He knows what he knows. He's done some tremendous things with his life in spite of his accident of birth, of being born into that institution. Now, to be fair to Charles with his Prince's Trust, we have to say, yes, Charles has done some great things. Admittedly, he has done some great things. But the other side of Charles is so cruel and so mean and so sinister that it almost completely negates any positive stuff that you could say. What happened to Princess Diana was a disgrace. And he was old enough to know better. He was old enough to use his voice. If you could assert yourself and bring that foul-looking, almost Frankenstein-like creature into the royal family and put a crown on their head in a church, no less, then you should have used your voice to marry her in the first place and leave that teenager of the Spencer family alone. Should have used your voice then. Now you can't shut him up. Oh, Camilla, there's no negotiation. You should have said that before. It's inevitable you're going to be king, right? And of course, as a divorcee, as a divorced man, he should have been ineligible to be king. But yet he is. That's why I say you can learn a lot from the election we had, because there's a lot of things that should not be, but is. A convicted felon runs for president and wins. A divorced king has become the head of the Church of England and brought his mistress into the church and put a crown on her head. Y'all, I'm through. I'm through. Stuff that should have never happened or you thought would never be allowed has happened. It's like the world is upside down, but I'm not here to preach that sermon today. Let's stick with this. So William says that this has been a very difficult year. This has been a very, very difficult year. Oh, it's been tough. Ooh, this has been the impossible year for him. Hardest year of my life, he says. Hardest year of my life. And I guess that's, he was a little older when his mom died. I guess that's nothing to think about. Or how about when he had to go through the military? Well, I guess that's not the same as having someone who has been treated for precancerous cells. Yeah, I would suppose having a wife that has been treated for precancerous cells, right, with the best possible medical teams that money could buy, taxpayers' money, I'm sure this is a rough year. And the fact that you have a staff of 62 people plus 2 Filipino nurses, his words, not mine, a range of homes to visit, also a fleet of automobiles, and also I'm just going to say, every convenience that can be afforded to anyone, he has. So why the article? As I said yesterday, because he's been dubbed a slumlord and they want people to feel sorry for him. So they're going to play this violin of the rough year. They are really going to try to sell poor Willie, whinging about his life. Whinging Willie. Yeah, whinging Willie. Willie that whinges and Willie that complains and Willie who's got it so tough. I don't know how the rest of Britain could make it. Poor Willie. Free Willie. So, yeah, he's got it rough, you guys. I guess I don't give him enough consideration for what he's been through. I guess I'm being very, very insensitive. And at some point, I am going to owe Willie an apology. Don't hold your breath, but I'm going to owe him an apology, I'm sure. So let me go to the next one. Oh, there we go. And then there's those. This is a massive rollout to protect the heir to the throne. This is a massive rollout to protect him, to protect his character. That's why they're doing this. This is for his protection. Because they do not want people to think too much about the slumlord Willie. So in order to downplay that, they have decided that the best thing to do is to bring up Kate's precancerous cells. And that ought to do it. And so that is why we're here. That is why they're discussing this, is because it's the best way to get the attention away from the fact that this billionaire is taking in, for lack of a better word, a king's ransom for doing absolutely nothing. You guys know that there are people that manage those estates. They ask them the odd question, give them a stack of documents to sign. But one thing that they do know is that it makes money. And they know where the money comes from. They know where the money comes from. And now he has been called out a slumlord. This is remarkable. And the tabloids are barely saying anything about it because they have to protect him. He is probably more protected than Charles. That's why it was okay for Charles to be racist, because he's king. But they could not allow that to be William. I still believe that it was William. I still believe that William said that. And they all probably had a big laugh about it, including Camilla. It's being brutal for us all. It's being brutal. I'm so proud of my wife and my father, but it has been the hardest year of my life. Do you guys know that there has not been any public statement? As far as I know, there's been absolutely no public statement from William for his father's cancer. I don't recall there being any public statement from William about his wife's precancer cells, which used to be cancer, but now is precancer. What was cancer is precancer. And what would be a nightmare for most people, having to navigate work and children, family matters and such, William barely worked when that news came out. And we're supposed to believe that he was pounding his fists and sitting around the clock reading to Kate while she convalesced from this surgery that kept her in the hospital for 14 days, even though most people could not figure out aside from someone being, well, anything else, why they would be in the hospital that long. Kate, they announced it. It didn't just happen, they announced it. But it's okay because when she got home, she actually had a choice of homes to go to. And waiting for her was two Filipino nurses, his words, not mine, with round the clock care. That's what William said. He said there are two Filipino nurses. Well, she's okay. She has two Filipino nurses. I wonder how they felt when they found out that they were not just professional registered nurses, but instead they were the two Filipino nurses. Again, I believe William was very concerned about the baby's skin color, not just Kate, not just Charles, and of course, I'm pretty sure that Godzilla had a part of it. But they are protecting William again. It is amazing how much they will do to protect him. William didn't go to the hospital. There's no image of him ever walking into the hospital. There was only an image of him driving toward the hospital. Yet, Charles, you would see him enter and exit the hospital. You could see Camilla enter and exit the hospital, but no William. And Kate, there's no image of her ever associated with that hospital. And don't say the Lindo wing, because that was not the Lindo wing. That was either another hospital or another side of the hospital, but it was not the Lindo wing. I never got tired of talking about it because I was hoping that one of the days from that point, we might actually find out what really happened. Princess Charlotte had a flood of tears when she saw Dad Prince William's beard for the first time. If your father walked in the house looking like a wino, wouldn't you have a flood of tears? If your father came in the house looking disheveled, 3 sheets to the wind, looking like a wino, wouldn't you be disturbed? I would. That would scare me. That would scare me. I mean, you think you're gonna talk to your dad, and instead you're talking to Sway Sway. Now, not only did that probably scare her, she probably had nightmares. She was looking for her dad, not Sway Sway. And now that he got that beard, who knows what he gets up to? I bet she let out a horrific scream, a blood-curdling scream when she saw that beard. I bet. Poor girl. Oh, well. Next, Prince William joins Heidi Klum, Billy Porter, and Winnie Harlow for a lunch in South Africa. Prince William enjoyed a down-to-earth outing with Heidi Klum, Billy Porter, and Winnie Harlow in celebration of the recent Earthshot Prize Award. As part of William's multi-day trip to South Africa, the 42-year-old Prince of Wales met with local fishermen in Kalk Bay Harbor on Thursday, November 7th. To learn more about the eco-friendly contributions of Abala, an organization that was an Earthshot Prize finalist in 2023. You guys, I know this looks like this is so wholesome and loving, and he don't even know those people. He don't even know those people. Those are rented people, bought and paid for. Some brought up the point beards don't come overnight, so why would she be shocked to see the beard if she was with him daily? Seems he is not in the house. Yeah, like maybe he went on a vacation without Kate, without the kids, right? He went on a vacation, and I'm sure everyone who traveled on the vacation with him had beards, of course. So for that reason, he was able to leave his beard at home, and he left the kids at home. Yeah, that is. Why would she be shocked? Why would she be shocked to see her dad with a beard? That is an excellent observation. Absolutely. It doesn't seem like it's logical for her to be shocked to see her father with a beard, unless she had never seen him with a beard before. It would have grown in, like, when are you going to shave type of thing. But instead, he comes in there looking like Grizzly Adams. He comes in there looking like one of the Bee Gees. So then it wasn't new. He was just nowhere around. Makes a lot of sense to me. Makes a lot of sense to me. So let me see here. What am I looking for? This little nugget. Here we go.
Why you're here, I want you to kind of choose.
I have to be honest, I had never heard of this before, and it was really when.
Wait, what did she just say? What did she just say about Earthshot?
That's why you're here, I want you to kind of choose.
I have to be honest, I had never heard of this before, and it was really when Prince William's team came to me and asked me if I would want to join and come to South Africa and nominate and be on the stage and spread the word about what this is all about, these amazing organizations and what they do.
What's it all about, Willie? To be honest with you, I've never heard about this before. I've never heard about this before. But when his team reached out to me and asked me to be a part of this, and more importantly, I was sure the check would clear. Yes, I'll sit down and pretend like we're having a little friendly conversation, like that's the closing scene from the Avengers movie, right? That's supposed to be like the closing scene from one of those Iron Man movies, Captain America. They're all sitting around inside of their headquarters or something like that. But the video I don't have to share with you, I believe. Did I see that on, I don't know whose channel I saw it. I thought it was it Duchess of Success or was it Pedo, Facts and 2 Cents? But either way, you could see that there was guidance being given. It was Pedo, because Pedo said, I have that same camera. There was guidance being given by the photographer telling them what to do, how to move, all that kind of stuff. And Billy Porter's like, do you want me here or will you be able to see Winnie? Seriously? This is supposed to be just a little unpretentious gathering of friends who have just worked hard to save the planet. Not some orchestrated thing like when you go to see the president of South Africa and he's sitting up there laughing and joking. Oh, they want us to shake hands again. Oh, now they want us to sit down. Oh, looks like they want us to step. Oh, these people here, they want to shoot us. This whole trip was busy work so that William could seem, that is, relevant, like he's a global statesman, and he has the most interesting friends like Heidi Klum and Winnie what's her name, and let us not forget the ghost of Sylvester. Do you want to funk with me? Let me show you how. Do you want to funk? Let me show you now. Do you want to funk with me? Yes, he is friends with the ghost of Sylvester. Do you want to funk with me? Hey. Yes, he's got some interesting friends. So interesting. I mean, you just don't know who's going to show up, do you? I mean, a couple of fashion models, a Tony Award winning actor, and so interesting. It's just too bad he don't know any of them. Too bad that he had to pay them to be there. He had to fly them to South Africa. And if these are the people that showed up, who was it that they wanted for this event that could not make it? Now, I'm going to tell you, David Beckham got in trouble when he went to Earthshot in Boston because he's there to hand out an award, and he got on a private plane and flew all the way from, what was it, Dubai or Emirates or whatever. And not to mention the fact that the club that he is involved with is in coal mining or something like that. So he was the wrong fit. And also, you guys, don't forget, this was yet another Prince William Super Bowl moment. I'm not sure what Super Bowl has to do with the Earthshot. I don't know what it is Earthshot has in common with the Super Bowl, as if there are two teams of people all padded and geared up that are going to meet on a football field and duke it out with a halftime show. This is Willie Leaks, Heidi Klum, Winnie what's her name, and of course, let us not forget the ghost of Sylvester. Do you want to funk with me? Let me show you now. Do you want to funk? Let me show you how. Do you want to funk with me? And then there was some other guy. I don't even know who that is. But yeah. Now, I tell you what. I respect Billy Porter for his craft. Don't really care much for him as an artist, but I think he's a great singer. And I respect the fashion models and whoever that other guy was. But I doubt if you will ever, I'm just going to go on a limb and say, I doubt if you will ever see any of them headlining a halftime show. So I asked the question again, what does this have to do with the Super Bowl? Why do you keep equating this award show to the Super Bowl? You know, there's a copyright on the name Super Bowl. So networks can't even say Super Bowl unless it is the Super Bowl. They can say it on the news, but they cannot, television networks cannot promote anything outside of the actual Super Bowl. They call it the big game. So how is it William, and if you don't believe me, look that up. Super Bowl is copyrighted and you're not allowed to use it. It's like when you say, this vacuum is the Rolls Royce of vacuums. And what happens? you get a letter from Rolls-Royce's lawyers, right? I don't know why William hasn't received a letter from the NFL saying that you cannot compare your little dinky award show with the actual Super Bowl. Gee, it would be so awkward if somebody alerted them to the fact that that was a thing. Now, I'm not going to do it, but if someone has the time, I wish they would let them know how the name Super Bowl is being used. Maybe they won't do anything about it. Maybe they will. But I don't know how they get away with that. They're very protective of Super Bowl. Oops, this is embarrassing. That's the clip I just played. Reporter asked Heidi Klum what hopes to achieve. She was forced to confess she'd never heard of it before and only came because it was paid. I'm sorry, because she was approached and paid. No, I'm sorry. She was approached and asked to pay, receive payment. No, I'm sorry. She was approached and asked to travel to South Africa for pay by Willie's team with a little extra bonus. If you sit down and have a picnic, if you pretend like you friends and have a picnic. So that's it. How embarrassing. I tell you guys, I always hear people say, oh, I thought we were having a mute challenge. I wouldn't miss dragging Willie for anything. I just couldn't. I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't drag Willie. It would probably rest on my conscience that I did not drag him for every little thing. Because we all know that if the shoe were on the other foot, they don't ever hold back. They don't ever hold back. So if they don't hold back, and I am a royal expert, why should I? Yeah, why should I? Prince William's struggle with balance of home and work life in hardest year of life. Work life. There we go. Of home and work life. It's just hard to imagine Willie working. That's why that threw me. Now compare that to the other side of the screen. Look, it's the slumlord. Again, they are going all out to try to protect William from the disgrace of being dubbed a slumlord. They are trying to protect the future king. They're not so interested in Charles. Have you noticed that? There is no big campaign to protect Charles. Why? Because he's already king. You see that? Let me go back and show you. Let me go back and show you. No Charles. No Charles. Doesn't even mention Charles. But it's all about Willie, the future king / slumlord. It is a real annus horribilis. Annus horribilis. Oh, I think I said it. Annus horribilis. Yes, it is a real annus horribilis. Or as Her Majesty the Queen would say, 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a year that my daughter-in-law, Sarah Ferguson, stuck her whole foot in a banker's mouth. 3 of my children are or shall be divorced. And of course, there's that dreadful Windsor Castle, which was uninsured and burned to the ground. That is 1992. It was the worst of times. It was the worst of times. It was 1992. So I guess William is trying to say that 2024 is his 1992. It's been a rough year, especially when they call you a slumlord. Now, with everything that they're saying about how rough this year is, where's the part about him being a slumlord? Where did they make room for that? Don't worry, Muriel did. You like that transition? Don't worry, Muriel has made room for it. Let's see, they protect that twit because he's the future of that jacked up institution. Thank you, Hazel. Now, Muriel says 2024 is the hardest year of my life. Well, check it out. What do we have here? Kate Middleton scandal leading photo agency announces Kensington Palace no longer a trusted source. And also in 2024, Dispatch can reveal how King Charles and Prince William are making millions from the taxpayers. In a joint investigation with The Times, we have uncovered lucrative deals with the armed forces, schools, and even the NHS. But that's not all. Investigation exposed King Charles and the state ranking in Middleton. And then what about this one? Scandal of Prince William's moldy, hard to heat royal rentals that don't meet standards. So yes, it is a annus horribilis. Ooh, I think I said it. It is like 1992, a year which I shall look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was 1992, a year which I shall look back upon with undiluted pleasure. Philip? Just ask Philip. You gotta love the Queen, right? She had a way with words or a way with somebody else's words. As I stand here before you, I pledge that I shall give my entire life, be it long or be it short, or however long it takes. That's what I intend to do. Not only for myself and my family, but for our family, not family, but our family of our royal family of nations empire. Queen out. Now compare that to the Queen Consort. Hello, is this the Daily Mail? Senior Royal here. No, you booby. I said Senior Royal here. Hello. No, I don't have a chest infection. It was just because of the blasted, bleeding, the slumlord scandal. I don't have a chest cold. Who told you I was sick? Now bring my scotch and my whiskey, my bourbon and gin. Do it. Okay. Now, so yeah, there you go. That is his horrible anus year, or anus horrible year. And here we go. Prince William reveals he's had the hardest year of his life following Princess Kate and King Charles' cancer diagnosis or pre-cancer cells, whichever comes first, It's been brutal, he admits in emotional interview during Cape Town visit. Well, what about the part of being called out for, slum-like conditions? Oh, they didn't ask me about that. But let me tell you about Kate and my dad. But don't you want to talk about those accusations of being a slumlord? No, not really. The press will fix it. They always do. Look at that one. It's been the hardest year of my life. William, it's been brutal for all of us. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Hardest year. You hear me? The hardest year of my life. And of course, Billy Porter's suit. We talked about that yesterday. Now, you guys, I cannot show you the video, but I just want you to notice. As a matter of fact, while they're talking, I'm going to stop it so that I can make a point here or there. I will stop the video so I can share my thoughts. Is that okay? Okay. Let me grab that. If you didn't see the video, that's why I'm going to talk you through it. That is why I intend to talk you through it. Uh-oh.
Year, hasn't it? I think now we're seeing them open up more than ever before. It's interesting to see how privately the tough time that they've been through. And I do think that will resonate with a lot of people. When you get a diagnosis like that, it just shatters your whole family. It can be really hard to come up.
Now let's listen to that beginning part again, because she is really enunciating the words and using those very exaggerated Kate Middleton jazz hand-like gestures just to make sure that her point is understood about how unusual this is, that the royal family is discussing their emotions about matters of the family, Okay, let me play that again.
Difficult year, hasn't it? And I think now we're seeing them open up more than ever before. And it's interesting to see how privately the tough time that they've been through. And I do think that will resonate with a lot of people. When you get a diagnosis like that, it just shatters your whole family. It can be...
Now, notice his body language. First, he's leaning into this crap. And then let me move myself out the way. Look at how he has reared back away from her. Now, as a royal reporter, a royal expert, and a body language expert, all of those things I am, I want you to notice how he has first turned his left shoulder to her because he can't stand that wench anyway. And then when she starts talking about the royals, he rears back because he didn't want to be downwind from all that hot air discussing something that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will connect with that. We'll talk about it later, but it's also worth mentioning it was a very rough news week last week for the royals after that documentary in the Times investigation. So you know, anything that they can do to personalise and humanise themselves right now is... Well, it's not, I'm not being cynical, I'm just saying.
She goes, oh, well, it's very cynical of you. And he says, I'm not being cynical. I'm just saying it was a rough week. And now the royals are telling us everything that they can to make you feel sorry for them. Let me start his part up again.
I think a lot of people will connect with that. We'll talk about it later, but it's also worth mentioning it was a very rough news week last week for the royals after that documentary in the Times investigation. So you know, anything that they can do to personalise and humanise themselves right now is. Well, I'm not being cynical. I'm just saying that, you know, there will be people at home. It was only last week there were some very tough allegations for the royal family, and they're very serious allegations. So, you know, we'll have somebody on later to talk about it.
But Sarah Houston, royal commentator, she'll be talking through.
So there you go. There you go. First, he starts off giving her the side eye, and eventually he never faced her directly. He sat on that same angle, but he did when he was making his more necessary points about last week. He kind of leaned into her and looked her directly. Well, not leaned in, but he faced her, still sitting on an angle, but he turned his face to her and looked her directly in the eye to say, yeah, but one would also say that based on those reports last week, XYZ or XYZ. So very interesting the way she was trying to gaslight and downplay all of the stuff that came out instead of focusing on William being dubbed a slumlord, and of course Charles and William actually leasing their properties to not-for-profit organizations, including the Royal Navy and such, renting a 15-year lease to rent a space for the store ambulances. These are spaces that likely would be unused anyway. The Duchy of Cornwall, which is William's now, and the Duchy of Lancaster, which belongs to Charles, those duchies were stolen by other sovereigns, and they used those as a piggy bank, so that the reigning ruler of the land would not have to go hat in hand begging that is for money, begging Parliament for money, even though they have done that too, and they only stopped doing that when David Cameron created this ironclad contract, which means that they can never come up short again. Because the Prince of Wales was notorious, not just one, but all Prince of Wales have been notorious as extravagant gamblers, womanizers. They would go through money like crap through a goose's behind, and they would be perpetually begging the sovereign for more money. So, okay, you take the Duchy of Cornwall, make of it what you will, but do not ask me for anything else. And as for the sovereign, who can be equally, unworthy, they use the Duchy of Lancaster as their piggy bank. So that's what those duchies are for. During feudal times, they took it and they kept it, and they use it to make sure that they always have an income. But how much more money do you need? You have a portfolio of 22 estates, not just houses, castles, palaces, but some of these estates have multiple residences on them. You can rent an apartment at St. James Palace. There's a lot of places where you can rent. I believe you can rent a space at the Kensington Palace. So it's not as though they have these single freestanding dwellings here and there. They have a portfolio of properties, and within those properties, there's multiple structures. If someone wants to graze on your land, they have to pay you. If someone wants to put up a windmill, they have to pay you. Why they pay you? Why give the money to the Crown Estate? Why not just give it directly to the government? What is the point of giving the money to the Crown Estate unless you're going to siphon off part of it? Get your hat, put it in your hand, and go to the Parliament for appropriation. And at this time, when some of the poorest people in the world have credit cards, just use a credit card. Just use a credit card. Put it on credit. And then if you go too far, I'm sure the government will let you know. But this idea of taking the money and then removing from it what you will and calculating the rest and giving the rest back to the government, I don't know why that's a thing. I honestly don't know why that's a thing. When Margaret Thatcher was trying to privatize all that stuff, all of the mines and stuff, the public services, when she started that movement to privatize things, why not privatize some of those other things? Sell off those things to other people, right? And just let them get an allowance. But instead, they take what they want. God knows how much is lost here and there. I think that that's insulting to people's intelligence. It's unnecessary. It's adding a step to the collection of taxes that is totally unnecessary. I wish somebody would say, listen, we're going to collect the rent on this property, but we're going to give it to you first, and you take a percentage out of it, and then you just give us the rest of us back, and we'll spend it on what we need, and then we'll give it to the Crown Estate, and they'll give it back to you, and we'll just do this forever. I don't know why Charles is involved with it in the first place. He doesn't count his own money, but I bet you know how much he got. Now, our patron, Prince William, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, has been Centrepoint's patron since 2005. He was a patron for so long, he had a full head of hair. Look at him. Well, almost full. Now, Not My King says the UK is experiencing the worst homelessness crisis in living memory. William has been patron of Centrepoint for 20 years. Perhaps a part-time pampered prince pointing at the problem from the palace is not what is needed. Or how about, I know, perhaps a part-time pampered prince pointing at the problem is the problem. Either way, he has been dubbed a slumlord. And they are using every trick in the book to get people to talk about other stuff. I mean, they are working overtime trying to find some kind of way to whinge without whinging, to distract without distracting.
Prince William.
Okay, wait, where is it at? Wait, do I have a video for that one? Ooh, I thought I did. Oh, maybe I don't. Is this it?
Written to the bereaved and isolating, yet...
Nope, that's not it.
Meanwhile, his brother.
I thought I had a video for that, but maybe I don't. Anyway, never mind. Perhaps I don't. But as you can see from here, that there is the mold and such, and Peter, what's his name? I think it's Thatchell. He's one of the Not My King people. Gosh, I wish I could find that one. Give me a second. I thought it was very interesting, which is why I wanted to share it with you. Yeah, don't have it. I think I know where I can find it, though. Let me see. Oh, yeah, just go to Not My King. Hold on a second. I go to Not My King.
Homelessness crisis in living memory. The UK is experiencing the worst homelessness crisis in living memory.
Okay, that was shorter than I thought. All right, maybe that wasn't the one. I thought it was, but I don't think so. Anyway, I'm going to move on because it's not what I thought it would be. Okay, you betcha. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. I wanted to share that part that the other guy said, but I cannot find it. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it ended with Not My King. And then take a look over here. The Sussex Soldier says, how the British media is repeating old fabricated articles about Harry and Meghan. They are praying and hoping Harry and Meghan or both will share a photo, venture outside in Montecito, or make a public appearance somewhere to divert attention away from Slumlord Willie. And then there's another quote from someone I chose not to name. It says here, this week, he had no shortage of things to say except on the condition that is, his tenants live in. Prince William's silence speaks volumes about his disregard for them. Yeah, he talked about all kind of stuff. I think it is almost hard to believe how serious this is because the tabloids are downplaying it. And because of the presidential election, they have been very fortunate that most media is looking the other way. Very fortunate that, and who knows, maybe they kept delaying the release of it, not because they took something out of the report, but they were just hoping that the presidential election would soften the blow. But I still say that there's an excellent chance that something had been removed, something pretty devastating, or should I say something worse, that they did not want to share. They just simply did not want to share it. But either way, it is still bad. It is still pretty bad. And it's disgraceful for the Prince of Wales, one of the most privileged people on the planet, and also, as evident, one of the most protected people, has been dubbed a slumlord. Period. A slumlord. While he's out there preaching about saving the planet and flying about on private jets, he used a helicopter like a Uber, according to Peddle. And this man has the caucasity to go down there getting in everybody's business about the way they do things. And not only has he been accused of a slumlord, but he and his father likewise, who used to be the person running the Duchy of Cornwall, they are leasing property to companies that are harming the environment doing their drilling and mining and exploration and such. What hypocrisy. Absolutely, what hypocrisy. Did anyone else get on their phones that Prince Harry was in Chicago? Yep. We talked about that in the beginning. But since you said that, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go and take a look and see if there's anything new to share. And there is not, only the stuff I showed you guys in the beginning. Yeah. I don't see anything else to share. And that was also a couple days ago, in case you didn't know. It was November 6th. Harry was in Chicago. Okay. Let me check another reliable source and see if they have any updated information. And I don't see any. Only what I've shared so far. Oh, Willie boy, the slums are dripping. The window sills and every roof and eave. Oh, Willie boy. The heat is escaping. All right, let me go to the next slide. How King Charles and Prince William makes millions from home, toilets, and death. Well, the home part, I get that because they lease property and such. The toilets, I forget what that's about. And death, well, you know, if someone dies without a proper will or whatever, the Duchy of Cornwall and the Duchy of Lancaster, they will keep the money that's in that person's bank account. They will keep the contents of their cottage or home or apartment. They will keep any assets that are not claimable from another family member or whatever. And I'm pretty sure they don't go through a lot of trouble trying to alert people, you know, you may have some inheritance over here. I'm pretty sure they don't. They just take it. So there you go. They just take what they want. They don't ask, you know, for any next of kin or anything. They just keep it. And by the way, I'm through with Professor Wilson. You know, it's a lot of stuff that Professor Wilson should talk about that he just ignores. You know, every so often he'll say something that makes sense, but for the most part, he's not. I don't know. I just I don't get down with him like that no more. So okay. This is the link to the article in the Glancer magazine. Weird name, Glancer. Well, I guess I get it, Glancer. And if you want to see the article with Harry in Chicago, it's pinned at the top of the chat. Love is in the air. Get it? In the air. I wish they stopped doing stuff like that. Letting her hair down, hair down. Fun-loving Lady Louise Windsor turns 21 today as the firm's, oh God, they saying it, secret weapon. She's a secret weapon of the royal family. It's so secret, she don't even know it. Anyway, the firm's secret weapon is seen partying with university boyfriend while enjoying a low-key student life. She's a secret weapon, you guys. Eugenie, Beatrice, what's her mama's name? Sophie, Mike Tendo, Zara the tongue ring Tendo. All of those people are royal family secret weapons. Who else is a secret weapon? I wonder if Kate Mamas has ever been a secret. No, she ain't never been a secret weapon. Who else? Well, anyway, they have many secret weapons in that family. They're so secret, they don't even know that they're part of their greater strategy. Connie Balmer. Good morning, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer, did you know that Lady Louisa Windsor is the royal family's new secret weapon? Anyway, it's her 21st birthday. God bless her. Her 21st birthday. And I am just going to ignore it, and you should ignore it too. It's nobody's business. Yes, I see it. As a matter of fact, I cannot unsee it. I see it. You see it. Everybody see it. But it's impolite to talk about it, especially since she is the secret weapon of the royal family. So because it's secret, I suggest we leave it that way. Shh. Shush. Don't even mention it. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. It's impolite. It's rude. It's unkind. She's happy, and I'm happy for her. So do not ever mention any type of resemblance between him and Alfred E. Newman, or whatever his name is. Do not bring it up. It's none of our business. Got it? Okay, male friend. That's good enough. Yeah. Remember, you don't see anything. We don't see nothing. You see, the tabloid media has not pointed it out. Why would we? So let's just let her be happy, okay? Let's just let her be happy. Let's not start some weird campaign about you never see the two of them in the same room at the same time. I'm sure that they're not the same person. Besides, I think the one on the left is much older than the guy on the right. So they could not be the same person. So just keep it moving, y'all. I'm so proud of you. Not one single comment. I am so proud. You all are so strong and reliable. Yes, you're like a Ford F-150 pickup truck. Very reliable. Okay, good. I'm proud of you. Now let's move on. Shh. Don't mention it. Uncle Waffles with William, the Prince of Wales, at the 2024 Earthshot Prize Award in Cape Town. Now, apparently, they're saying that her outfit was not formal enough. I don't know this girl. This is the first I've ever seen her. Looks like Uncle Waffles faces backlash for outfit choice while meeting Prince Williams. Well, I could assure you, Marsha, you're not right. I thought we wasn't going to talk about that. I thought we were not going to mention it, and yet you went there. Shame, shame, shame. We were just gonna move it along and pretend like we don't see nothing. But since you've gone through the trouble, let me go back. Okay, I see it. I see it. Next thing you know, I'm going to start seeing Aunt B and Floyd the barber and Gomer Powell and everybody else. How come I can't whistle? The Andy Griffith Show. Oh, Andy. Okay, so as for her outfit, Cape Town, South African DJ Uncle Waffles, born whatever, faced online criticism for her outfit. Hey guys, this is her, okay? If this is who they sent for, then that's what you get, okay? William was looking for relevancy, and he was willing to take it wherever he got it from. I just hope that her appearance was paid for. That's all I care about. I don't care what's showing. I just hope her appearance was paid for. But as you can see, there's no shortage of criticism. Well, let's start here because I didn't know who she was. The Gala Hill Zwani, is it Zwani, known professionally as Uncle Waffles, is a Swansea-born DJ and record producer based in South Africa. Good for her. She is noted for her work on the amapiano genre and her dance abilities, with Billboard describing her as the princess. Oh, see, she's a princess herself of amapiano. And she's 24 years old. Yeah, so that's it. She was born in 2000. God, I feel old. So I suppose these people, I don't know if they're from South Africa or not, but it says, I'm disappointed in my queen's look because I am rooting for her, but I believe she will make me proud next time. Now, maybe he just wanted her to wear something more formal. I don't know. She is not South African. Oh, okay. I don't know about that. Let me see. If I was told someone 5 years ago that I would, that this would happen, they would have called me a maniac. Naked like that, she must do this. She must do this nonsense in Swaziland. Oh, okay, that's why she's saying she's not South African. And then it says here, there's a time and a place for everything, man. You can't be this dumb. She could have worn something more classy. There's a place and a time for every outfit. And the last one says the prince didn't want to make headlines. He kept his hands to himself. There's a good reason why I wouldn't worry about William, okay? There's a lot of good reasons. So, anyway, that was a big fuss. It did not get much coverage other places, but there was a couple of articles, as you can see here. Those are 3 different articles about that moment. Oh well. So there's Billy and Willie, the other guy, the girl from I forget her name, and the other girl. But Earthshot has come and gone. It barely made a ripple, and William has been accused of being a slumlord. Now, check this out, you guys. Dolly Parton invites Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis to her amusement park, Dollywood, in Tennessee. After a misconnection with Kate last year, Parton said she'd love to host Kate and the kids and would even give Kate my mashed potatoes. Well, isn't that like someone from Tennessee to take a look at a stick figure like Kate and try to fatten her up, right? She's doing the old Hansel and Gretel on Kate. Misconnection, blah, blah, blah. She said the kids would go on all the rides and we would treat them like royalty. I'd give Kate my mashed potatoes. I wouldn't even put on airs for them. I would just let them enjoy what we enjoy, and I'm sure that they would. I'll never say that that's the way they would want it. I would love to have those kids at Dollywood. Well, bless your bones. Bless your bones. That is very sweet. So, of course, one of the derangers saw that on Twitter. Let me show you. Derangers are going to do what derangers do. Dolly Parton is Team Prince William and Team Princess Catherine. We love it. How old are you? 12? Dolly Parton is Team Prince William and Team Princess Catherine. We love it. Well, Dolly Parton wasn't always Team Princess Catherine. As a matter of fact, Dolly Parton caused so much humiliation and embarrassment to Catherine, to Kate Middleton. Do you remember that? Dolly Parton turned down an invitation to tea with Kate Middleton. I thought it was very sweet and nice of her to invite me, but one of these days I'm going to have to get to do that, Parton shared. The reason why Dolly Parton couldn't be bothered is because she was working. She came over to the UK to work, not sit around with some airhead princess trying to ask her questions like, can you taste the taste by smelling it? She got better stuff to do. Dolly Parton is a businesswoman. She didn't just waste 10 years sitting around trying to get somebody to pop the question while other people were doing stuff like that. Dolly Parton was building her empire. So what would they have to talk about? What could they talk about? Now, of course, I'm being very, very critical. And why? Well, I think y'all know why. If you watch long, if you've been watching Royal Sussex long enough, you know where my shade comes from. But anyway, we're going to reach out to Kensington Palace for comment because it's the polite thing to do.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and, you know, going forward and things. You know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and, you know, very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Do you think Dolly watches Royal Sussex and maybe she saw that one time too many and thought, I'd rather be bitten behind by a snaggertooth bulldog than to sit there listening to her yammering about God knows what? I don't know. I can't really speak of her intentions, but all I'm saying is Dolly Parton um dodged it that time. And if I was her, I would never spend time alone with her. It's like wasting an entire day of your life. And who wants to do that? So let the kids come there and have a good time. And then, take a picture with everybody and keep it moving. Right? It's a good way to promote your theme park. And it's a good way to, help Kate feel better about being snubbed by Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is giving Kate a way out of where to live when Ah, there you go. And she can help her you know fill out again. That's why she want to give us some potatoes. Okay. Oh, you guys are too much. Y'all been listening to me too long. It sounds like she was asked if she would welcome them. Uh-huh. They must be putting together an American tour. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like they're trying to put together an American tour. Anyway, whatever the case may be, I hope it doesn't happen. Let them stay over there. Okay. All right. Let me see. How many more slides do I have? Oh, I just got one more thing to talk about, and then I'm done. Welcome to the newest members of the Invictus community of nations. That's right. Welcome to the newest members of the Invictus community of nations, Brazil and Lithuania. Brazil and Lithuania join Invictus community of nations ahead of Vancouver Whistler 2025. The Invictus Games Foundation proudly welcomes Brazil and Lithuania to its newest members of the ever-growing Invictus community of nations. Both countries are officially invited to take part in the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler 2025, presented by ATCO and Boeing. Isn't that outstanding? That's right. Invictus is growing even larger. So, I'm excited about that. I am very excited. And listen, you guys know how hot the Brazilians are, right? Brazilians are hot. So at least we'll have something to look at. All right. Good on them. Let's see. Well, other than that, you guys, I am done. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm going to see, is all three teams, Brazil, Lithuania, Afghan, okay, Unconquered, unannounced, 6 as well. All three teams prepare to join competitors from other nations. The Invictus Games Foundation reaffirms its commitment to the recovery and rehabilitation of all wounded, injured, and sick service personnel and veterans, regardless of nationality. Well, that is exciting. Okay, that's it. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Oh, I got one more thing. Don't go anywhere. I got one more thing. Sorry. It was so far down, I missed it. Congratulations, Beyonce. the most nominated artist at the 2025 Grammys. 11 nominations. Okay, now I'm done for real. 11 nominations. Good for you. Lovely. There we go, you guys. She deserves it. I love Beyonce. I think she is very inspirational. As a matter of fact, I have to say both Beyonce and Taylor Swift, they both have been able to change the economy of the cities that they have visited. That's the one thing that I've taken from their tours. That even though they're very different people, the one thing that they have in common is that they have changed the economy of an entire region just because of their concerts. That is a heavy responsibility. Um, and when you think about what happened Tuesday, one would think that if these young women can maintain their careers in a way that is very dignified, they're very little controversy where Beyonce is concerned, and the only thing that they ever say about Taylor Swift is her dating life, really. But I have incredible respect for both of them for the way that they have conducted themselves, being such a great example of good old fashioned girl power. So good for them. Um, Now, of course, if we can just get Beyonce that album of the year, you know what I mean? Get her that album of the year. That would make so much sense. But I was hoping that we were going to make history this week, and it just seemed like it wasn't meant to be. But one of these days, we're going to get there. The ultimate glass ceiling is going to shatter in a trillion pieces, and I think the world is going to be so much better off. For now, we just have to hunker down and try to stay positive and get through this. Plus, there's so many people that are having surgeries or have had losses in their family and such. And like even right now, probably Lady Sussex is listening, and we have been sending out all the prayers and positive energy for everything that she's doing. And of course, Pedo and her family. Dorothy Ross is going through treatment, and Church Nelly. And I know I'm going to miss a bunch of people, but just what comes to my mind as I'm speaking right now. So it's a lot going on besides the election. So just remember, you still got to be there for your family. You still got to be there for yourself, and you got to be there for your family and your friends that are family. You got to be there for them. So put your game face on, put on your big girl pants, and let's do this, okay? Or big boy pants. Let's do this. We got to get through the holidays for those of you that observe Christmas and Thanksgiving. Then it'll be New Year's. It's hard to believe a whole new year is starting up again. Oh, and I got the nicest message from Jerry White, who's also been in and out of the hospital. But she left me a message for my birthday, and that was very sweet, as well as a nice card she sent. And I still got some things to get from my mailbox, which I may do that next week. Because I just went over there, so I may do that next week, and we'll see. So a lot of stuff going on. Okay. I think that'll do it. You guys, I went to the nicest music recital the other day. Those kids were brilliant. And of course, I don't know how old them kids was. I forgot what grade they were in, but they were brilliant. They played so well. I could not believe it. And the conductor actually left the stage and let them play without any guidance, which I thought was incredible. They had started some number and then she just turned and walked away, and they were able to do everything without any signals or anything from her. That was I've never seen that done before. And the way they remained in sync with one another, I would have thought it was like some huge, like, well, I mean, obviously it was limited amount of people and instruments and such, but it was just the quality of the music really caught me off guard. I'm so proud of those kids. So that was great. Glad I took the time to go. I'm glad I was invited. Yep, it was a nice break from the normal everyday stuff. And my cousin, who is my aunt that just passed away, her grandson, who she had actually taken up a lot of time with because he lost his mom. So she and the other grandma, they both were taking care of him. So now he just has the one grandma since my aunt passed away. But he graduates from high school this year, and he's doing very well, all things considered. I tell you, kids are so much stronger than anybody ever gives them credit for. Still, you have to keep an eye on them when tragedy happens, but yeah, he's doing amazingly well, very well adjusted. I'm so proud of him. Um, oh, Ingrid Soares, what is going on? What is going on? Of course, we'll send our prayers out for you. I'm sorry, I've been neglecting the comments most of the day. To tell the truth, I've been sitting here a lot of times. Remember how I think when we would watch Tina and Michelle on Sundays, I think sometimes Tina would be there with I think she said that she would close her eyes sometimes. I do that too on occasion. I've been doing that lately where I'll just close my eyes and I'm not actually looking at the screen. I don't do that every time, but sometimes I do close my eyes. It helps me find my words. I've heard of Serafina. I've heard of that movie. I hope to visit South Africa one of these days. Seemed like it would be pretty exciting. Yeah, from what I've seen, like on the travel shows, it's a few places I'd like to go. And of course, Nigeria. But see, I'd have to save up a lot of money because it would probably be just a one-time thing, right? So I'd have to save up a lot of money so that I could do everything that I want to do on that one trip because as I'm getting older, I'm just being honest, there's a lot of places that I probably wouldn't go back to only because there's so many other places that I would like to visit. So a lot of places that I love and adore, but I probably won't go back to them because there's so much more to explore. And with the limited amount of resources I have, it'll probably be a one-time thing. But yeah. And also the pleasure of checking off yet another nation, another page of my passport. Oh, New Zealand, huh? Nice. Very nice. Okay, you guys. How in the world have we been on here for 3 hours? How did that happen? Are you serious? How in the world did that happen? Oh my God. Where did the time go? It doesn't even seem like it's been that long. I don't even have that many slides. How could it be 3 hours? What was I talking about for 3 hours? That is insane. I mean, I know I was dragging William, but I could do that with my eyes closed as evidence. And of course, I know I was dragging pucker up. But I could have done that with my eyes closed. Where did the time go? That is incredible. I don't remember it. And of course, even though this is such a short video, it just seems long.
Well, obviously, it'd be. I would love to have met her, and she's obviously she's an inspirational woman to look up to. Obviously, on to this day, and going forward and things. It is. It's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and very inspirational. So yeah, I do.
Yeah, so that one only seems long, but in actuality, it's a very short video. Oh, thank you, Cookies and Cream. I guess that's what it was then. Heather Stroud, thank you for saying that. I really do appreciate it. Well, I guess we're done then. Wow, almost 3 hours. My goodness. I don't know where the time went. I feel like somebody roofied me or something. Really? Okay. I'm getting excited. Wow, okay, thank you. I remember that. Yeah, if you remember in the Crown, they made it seem like Kate actually met Diana. That was so stupid of them to do that. So stupid. Oh, the Crown. I haven't thought about that in a while, but that was awful. That was awful. That was some of the worst. I mean, the quality of the Crown was outstanding those first couple seasons, but then it just went into a very downward spiral for the last 2 seasons. Mm-mm-mm. And that's when we have to stop. Once it starts making sense, Marshar, then you have to stop. Certain things that don't make sense and they start to make sense, then you know that you've gone too far. You guys, I have been watching one of those things where somebody purchases a castle and then they renovate it. I've been watching this guy. He bought a place called Dampierre or Dampia. But it's a castle. I believe it's in Normandy. And he uh, made a bid for it, and they accepted the bid. Nobody else was bidding for the castle. They were bidding for the land adjacent, but nobody else wanted the castle. And I was wondering, gosh, what kind of work could he possibly do that he can afford this? And then I found out that he was a cosmetic surgeon, I think, in Paris. And so that's where he makes his money. I'll give you guys the link for it. It's a chateau, the Chateau Dompierre. Very, very excited about it. The Chateau Dompierre. Okay. Let me give you the link. So if you're looking for something interesting to watch, and also I know it doesn't matter, but he has amazing hair. He's almost 2 meters tall, which I think is about 6'5" tall. And he has the most amazing French accent. And anyway, there's no controversy. It's not presidential politics. So you could watch it and you could be totally void of stress. I'm going to put that at the top of the chat. Let me pin that. So there's a lot of stuff you can do to avoid being anxious or depressed about what's happening in this world. Find some escape and take it. You don't have to suffer through these things alone, because as a group, there's a lot of things that you can do. But as an individual, you can really hurt yourself by taking on so much responsibility for everything that's going on in the world. So find something else. Find something that gives you pleasure and consume that. But turn off MSNBC and all the rest of those news channels, because it's over. And the lesson I learned from 2016 is that when it's done, it's done. And there was a concession speech, and we have to move on now. We have to take care of ourselves, because if we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't do anything for anybody. It's very important. So I like to watch a lot of history and documentaries and stuff like that to pass the time. It's always something interesting that I didn't know. And this renovation is in the early stages. I'm probably going to be watching this guy for the next 3 years. So, and like a month ago by without him releasing another video. So it's not that many, but he has about 8 of them right now. And it's really interesting. I've watched several renovations from like the Loire Valley and places like that. And hearing history outside of the UK is very interesting, because I don't know, they may have just as many, if not more, castles and chateaus and palaces. They're all over France. They're all over Europe. And if you're into that kind of stuff and you like to, see those historic perspectives in architecture, they definitely have plenty of it. So, yeah, good escape. I've seen so many of those English shows that this is a nice departure, and you can find a lot of them where they're actually in English, so you don't even need the subtitles, but the subtitles are fine too. But yeah, this guy has an adorable accent, and he has a limited amount of English, so he struggles to find the words, which is also adorable to watch. Like the last one I watched, he said, the staircase. I don't know what you call this thing, but in French we call it. In France we call it something. But then they had the subtitle "Spiral Staircase." So yeah, it's a lot of that. So if you're practicing uh, English and you speak French or vice versa, it's interesting just to hear him talk. But it's a beautiful estate. And oh no, he's got like 16 videos, but it's a beautiful estate. And I cannot wait for him to finish it. And the latest one that came out 14 hours ago, the estate has a proper castle, a real castle, and then behind the castle is the chateau. So at one time it was just a fortification, but later on the family built a proper chateau, and he's trying to restore it. In some cases, he has to reimagine it, but only the exterior, including the windows, are listed. The staircase is listed and the kitchen is listed. So that means the rest of the house, he can do whatever he wants. Oh, there you go. Do not sleep on how we move during hard times. Learn. Heller. Heller. Thank you very much for that. Oh, you too? Nice. I may have seen it. Because I have watched a few of them in the past, and I saw this one where a woman who lost her husband during 9/11, she bought a chateau. I saw one where a English or Irish family purchased a chateau. But yeah, there's a bunch of them where people have purchased these chateaus, and then they spend years restoring them. Um, yeah, I think I've probably seen in total, I've probably seen maybe 20 different I bought a chateau documentaries. I've probably seen at least 20 of them or 20 different families or individuals that purchased the chateau. So it's a good chance that if you've seen it, I've seen it. Let's see. Escape to the chateau follows UK family that. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Star. I wonder if it's the one that I'm thinking about, where the one guy has an apartment in the chateau, and the rest of the family, they have an apartment, right? I'm wondering if that's the one I'm thinking of. I haven't seen it in years, but might be the one. Why do I get the feeling that Connie Balmer lives in a chateau? The Le Chateau Balmer, the Balmer house, Chateau Balmer. Yes, why do I get that feeling that Connie Balmer has this palatial, grand Chateau Villa de Balma? Yeah, Villa de Balma. Why do I have that feeling? Just asking for a friend. You don't have to say, but I have that feeling that there is a Chateau Le Balmer, complete with its own lake and cottages and medieval tower and such. Only a big chalet. All right, only a big chalet. Okay. Okay, I stand corrected. Or what's that other thing they say? Oh gosh, I can't think. Oh well. Let me see here. Yeah, I couldn't imagine that there's anything that they can find that um, the campaigns don't already know about. And since there was a concession speech, which I'm glad because that takes the pressure off of a lot of people. But since there was a concession speech, I'm going to just stay with that for now. Miracles do happen. And if there is a way that we can make this untrue, I promise you, I would be one of the first people to do whatever I could in my power to help. But for now, um, we just have to take care of ourselves. Yeah, for now, we have to take care of ourselves. Did I tell you that this guy was 6'5", almost 2 meters tall? And you won't believe his hair. You got to, I mean, if nothing else, just watch his hair. If you're not really into the architecture, you can just look at his hair. I mean, that hair is incredible. Yeah, that's what you can do. Um, if you're not into architecture, just watch his hair move with the breeze. There you go. At the Chateau Dampierre. Oh, Sussex Team Warrior, thank you so much for joining us. Ooh, it's been 3 hours. I'm fixing to go. You see how fast that happened? Just a minute ago, it was 2 hours and 47 minutes. Now it's 3 hours and 2 minutes. Now I really must get going. Thank you all so much, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Thank you, everyone who has a membership in Royal Sussex. It has been very, very helpful, um, and it makes this work possible. More importantly, thank you all for trusting me to do this work. That means more than I could ever put into words. Okay, okay. Cheers. Here's a very no. You know what? I won't do that to you. I was about to say, here's a kiss goodnight, but I have showed that face too many times today, more times than I have in about a year. So rather than give you nightmares, I am going to not do that. All right. All right. Okay. And we're out.
you.